Tonight, the SMO Hardcore League presents the 6th annual Hawk Tribute Race from the Michigan International Speedway. So grab a snack, your favorite beverage, and strap yourself in because you're in for one whale of a ride next, live on DRTV.
And we welcome you to live DRL Network coverage of the 6th annual Hawk Tribute Race tonight from the Michigan International Speedway, done up by our good buddies over at SMO Hardcore Racing League. Such a great event here, the 6th annual Hawk Tribute, and we're going to have it all flag to flag right here tonight, live on DRTV. Thanks, everybody out there, for watching us here tonight. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with my broadcast partners, Too Tall Todd Stanton, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, as always, down in the DRTV control booth. Todd, a great field of cars on hand here. I count 21 drivers have come in tonight, clocked in times in the pit area here at Michigan. That 2-mile high-speed D-shaped double we're so familiar with makes for some really great racing. And by the looks of practice, I think these guys here at SMO tonight, they're going to put a hell of a race on here.
Yeah, they're going to put on one whale of a race here at the Michigan International Speedway, Phil. I have to agree with you here this evening, and I don't like to agree with you too often, but I'm going to agree with you here tonight. It's going to be one whale of a race, you guys out there watching YouTube, and those who are going to watch the broadcast after this is all complete here, after all the live events have gone forth. But I'm telling you, the qualifying times, though, Phil, up and down the board, they're really, really close here. 37.3s all the way down through the 12th position in qualifying, Phil. So very interesting to see how close these guys are running at the Michigan International Speedway.
Yeah, and absolutely right. And I think something you'll see here tonight, as you know, we do see a custom here at Michigan every now and again. I think it's going to be a drafting type of race here tonight. So with 20-something drivers out there, it's going to make for some whale of racing out there. Going to be C2. Dare I say, maybe some 3-wide action. Not sure. I don't know what we'll see of that tonight here in Michigan. But Rich Patton, we have a wide 2-mile electric fast surface here tonight. And, of course, this 6th annual William Hawkins, the Nighthawk, as he was known here at SMO, the 6th annual tribute race in his honor. Just something cool here that SMO does. And we're thrilled to have this event on our schedule here once again here tonight. And this such a cool event to be a part of.
Yes, indeed it is. Running moderate damage tonight with 2X tire wear. Pit window looks like between 22 and 25 laps. Going to run basically 80 laps around here, so going to be quite interesting to see. We've got, I believe, somewhere between 18 and 21, 22 drivers, something like that. So great group of drivers out here tonight. Should be an excellent race for tribute race for Nighthawk. So looking forward to great racing here at Michigan.
Yeah, it's going to make for one whale of a time here tonight. 160 miles, 80 laps around this Michigan International Speedway. Cannot wait to see where this all takes us tonight. Twists and turns. We were here 1 year ago. The 5th annual was such a great event. And, anytime we come to SMO, Todd, we get great guys to work with. Jamie Tedders and Pete A. Strops and Bill Salo. All the guys at SMO always do a great job. And, of course, the guy in charge over at SMO responsible for this awesome event is Mr. Jamie Tedder. So, Jamie, Phil from DRTV, buddy, good to talk to you here once again, and congratulations to your 6th annual Hawk Tribute Race. I know Hawk was a very integral part to everything you guys did at SMO for years and years. So, give us some background on Nighthawk and, talk about this great event here you guys got put on tonight.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, Hawk, his real name was William Hawkins, Jr., and he was from the Chesterfield Township, Michigan, and worked as a mechanic in Detroit, Michigan. And Michigan, obviously, is his home track. So Hawk passed away on June 19th of 2011, so 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, actually, but this is our 6th annual because we did the first annual the same year that he passed away. So, but this is to show tribute to him because he was part of the SMO that a lot of people didn't see, and he was a type of person that he wouldn't even race that night if you couldn't get connected or had issues with something. He would sit out of the race and work you all the way through it till you got it right, and that's just the type of person he was.
Yeah, he was a fantastic individual. Just hearing all your stories here in years past, and all the guys at SMO that were so fond of the Nighthawk, William Hawkins, so dearly missed to all of us here, and that dreaded disease, cancer. We all talk about needing to be here. We were here just about a month ago racing for the cure with you guys, Jamie, and of course we got this awesome event in Bill's honor here tonight as part of this great event. And tell us about this field, man. 20 cars here at Michigan. It looks awfully fast out there tonight. Qualifying times are real close. How much do you think the draft is going to play into a key here at Michigan tonight?
Yeah, the draft is going to play really well. Luckily, my first pole for this track in a long time, so I'm very happy with that. The guys back at the Mountain Motorsports garage, they definitely put together a good car for tonight. But the draft is definitely going to play a key role. You're going to see a lot of passing probably in turn 1 and 2. 3 and 4, not so much because it will push up the track a little. But I think we're going to see a great race overall.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Jamie. And for everybody out there watching us tonight, watch us here live or maybe here archive here a little later on. Tell everybody out there, how can they find you guys at SMO Hardcore? Because I know you guys race many nights a week, multiple series, and do a fantastic job. So tell our viewers how they can get involved with you guys.
Yes, sir. www.smo-hardcore.com. You can get signed up there. Monday nights we run the Gen 6 BR Cup mod. Tuesday night is the same mod we're running tonight, the NWS 11 mod. Friday nights is the CWS 15 mod, which is our trucks. And then on Sunday nights we have a Super Speedway series, which we run the Gen 6 BR CTS mod as well. So yeah, those 4 nights is our main nights for racing.
Well, fantastic. Well, Jamie, once again, thanks for allowing DRL to be a small part of this event here, this 6th annual Hawk Tribute, and give that 910 a good ride there, buddy. I know out there, we share commonplace, and we joke about this, of course, being loyal, devoted Tar Heel fans. You and I both put that 910 up a victory lane here tonight in Hawks on it, buddy. Have a good run.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Phil.
All right, it's our good buddy Jamie Tedder down there in the number 910. He's on the pole here tonight for 80 laps around Michigan. But Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, I want to throw it down to you here real quick. I know we have something very special. These guys at SMO provided us here as a tribute here to the Nighthawk, Bill Hawkins. So tell us about what you got down there, partner, to share with our viewers.
Yeah, most definitely. The Hawk family made a direct phone call to the league and was very proud of everything that they've done, as far as donations and putting on these races events for Hawk. And we're lucky enough to have that recorded phone call. So we're going to go ahead and play that family's phone call that was presented to the league in Hawk's memory.
I just wanted to call and to thank you so much for your donations and the support and the love shown for Hawk and his family. Let you know that we're so grateful of what you've done and want to say thank you. Thank you so much. And we will be keeping in touch. And as soon as I have some kind of arrangement for the memorial, I will let you know. But again, the family's so grateful, and thank you again. Bye-bye.
And we're back here at the Michigan International Speedway, the 6th annual William Hawkins Nighthawk, as he was known here at the SMO clan. His 6th annual tribute race in his honor. We lost him 2011 to cancer, so we're definitely our thoughts and prayers out to the family. And you hear that phone call there. It's a very touching message there. So just a big hats off. We want to do this in his honor. And I think we're going to be in for really, really tremendous night of racing here tonight, Todd. And can't wait to see what this thing's going to take us for 80 laps.
Yeah, definitely can't wait for us to see what's going to happen here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And it's we're about 50 seconds away there, Phil.
Yeah, we're a couple seconds away. We're going to have something here real special for all our viewers here tonight, something these guys at SMO have come accustomed to. We're going to throw it down to Rich here when he's ready in a minute. So we're going to throw it down to Rich for tonight's invocation.
Brian, if you want to go ahead and start us with the invocation, please.
Heavenly Father, tonight we remember and honor our fallen friend William Hawkins Jr., number 66, Nighthawk. Tonight, as we reflect on Hawk's memory, we remember him as a man very passionate about cars and auto racing, online gaming, and life in general. Joining SMO League in 2004, he served as admin for 2 series, up until his untimely death in 2011. Always at the ready, with a helping hand or just to cause a smile or laughter. Although Hawk left us way too soon, he did leave something behind. The very spirit of that which SMO is all about, because they are one and the same. We take comfort tonight, knowing that Hawk's spirit will always remain at SMO, bringing us closer together, as friends, as family, and as brothers. And for that, we are truly blessed. Lastly, Lord, we know that Hawk would agree in asking that you please continue watching over and protecting all the men and women around the globe from our military who protect us each and every day. In your name, they all said, Amen.
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 Thank you, Brian.
Now we're back, ready to rock and roll here at the Michigan International Speedway. The William Hawkins, the Nighthawk 6th annual tribute race here done by our friends at SMO Hardcore. A great invocation done. A hats off to all these guys. Jamie Tedder, all the gang over here at SMO for a job well done. And Todd Stanton, it's about time to light the wick for 160 miles here at the Michigan International Speedway. So let's go straight into the starting lineup.
And now your starting lineup for the 6th annual Hawk Tribute Race here from the SMO Hardcore League. Starting on the pole, driver out of Blowing Rock, North Carolina, driving the number 910, that's Jamie Tedder. And his dancing partner to the outside, driving the number 43 machine out of Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, that's Mike Chevier.
Rolling off tonight from inside row number 2 will be our buddy in the number 81 from Sharon, Pennsylvania. That, of course, is Bob Tompkins Sr. Into his outside in car number 49, representing Screaming Eagle Racing, that is Frank Divins.
Next row back, starting in that 5th starting position, that's the driver of the number 68, that's Bill Salo. And outside of him, driving the 028, that's Monte Keller.
Rolling off from position number 7 tonight will be the driver of car number 76 from Arizona. That'll be Matt Wiedemeyer. And to his outside in the number 50, also from Screaming Eagle Racing, that'll be Rex Adams.
Next row back, the pride of Thompsonville, North Carolina, driving that number 8 machine, that's Bink Lucas. And outside of him, driving the number 61, that's Dick Jordan.
Rolling off tonight from position number 11, very fast rocket ship out here will be the driver of car number 118. Very familiar face to us on DRTV, that is Robert Baucom. And to his outside in the number 24, a heavy hitter with SMO, that's Viper Pete Astrop.
A row of Insomniac Motorsports sponsored machines, sponsored guys. That's the 110, that's Dennis Chambers. And outside of him, driving the number 210, that's Fast Eddie Lee at
Making his return to the SMO tonight, and good to see him here on DRTV, the driver of car number 29. That is going to be Brian Wolf, and to his outside in the number 5. We've seen him win on DRTV about a month ago, racing for the Cure. That's Bob Kincaid in number 5.
Starting in that 17th starting position, that's the driver of the number 7, that's Kenny Tedder. And outside of him is the number 20, that's Matt Lesniewski.
Rolling off deep in the field tonight from position number 19 will be the 013. That is Charles Hooper. And to his outside, rolling shotgun on the field, the number 21. That is Steve Looney. That is your 20-car starting lineup. I believe 21 drivers were here to take qualifying times. Todd, looks like 20 drivers going to be able to answer the bell here for 160 miles. 80 laps around the Michigan International Speedway. Cannot wait, Todd. A great field of cars on hand and a super fast front row. Cannot wait to see where we get to here through the first half of this race.
Yeah, definitely super fast front row here through the first half of this race. Can't wait to see what's going to go on here at the Michigan International Speedway. It looks like green flag is in the air. The hammer is down. The loud pedal is down. Jamie Tedder takes the early advantage over the number 43 of Mike Chevier. Chevier running in that second spot. He's got help from the 49 of Frank Divins. Meanwhile, down on the bottom side, that looks to be the 68 machine and the 81 machine trying to hook up together. That's Bob Tompkins Sr. and Bill Salo. They were doing a missing man formation here early on in this event, Phil. That's another tribute here to Hawk.
Yeah, one of the many, many things that Hawk, as Jamie said, still very much vital in the spirit of everything these guys at SMO do as the field works its way now off of turn number 4. Jamie Tedder, he was our pole sitter, the number 910. He's out with the race lead. Mike Chevrier right there in that second spot in that number 43. And look there, third car in line, Todd. Very, very familiar name to us here on DRTV. Frank Dibb is the number 49. He is all over the Chevrier machine. He's going to look for running room to the low side off of turn 2.
Yeah, looking for a little bit of running room with that number 49 machine right now, falling back into line behind Chevier. Chevier right now running in that second spot, as you said, Phil. Meanwhile, back in that fourth spot, the 028, that's Monte Keller, having a good run here early on in the going. Had a good qualifying effort, too. Bob Tompkins Sr. running in that fifth position. In that number 81 machine, Matt Wiedemeyer running in seventh here, or sixth right now. In that number 76 machine, he's all over the rear bumper, trying to peek his way back into that top five.
Yeah, he certainly is doing that. He's right there in that number 76, all over the back bumper of Bob Tompkins there. In that number 81, Bob running the low side through turns number 1 and 2. Weedy up high in that number 76, drifting that thing up the racetrack. And as they come off turn 2, Bob slams the door shut, drifts back up to the outside line. Weedy falling back in line. That's great racing. Todd for 5th in turn 3.
Yeah, Matt Wiedemeyer now back to the top side of the speedway. Two distinct grooves here at the Michigan International Speedway here this evening. Good to see a lot of two-wide racing as Wiedemeyer now glances it off the wall, and that number 76 machine leaves the door wide open for the number 50, Rex Adams. He's going to be able to capitalize on that maneuver there, and he's going to move himself into that sixth position in that number 50 drop kick, the 76 of Wiedemeyer, with a little bit of side damage back to that seventh spot.
Yeah, the 15 car on the move, as you said, up to the sixth spot. Meanwhile, back to the front of the field, a race for the race lead. Looks like the Chevier machine up there, he was looking to the low side of Jamie Tedder, could not quite make that move work. He was looking for room on the low side, would not stick. Now, Frank Divens, the 49, they're going to be side by side for that second spot as they hit the front straightaway.
Indeed, side by side, the 910 of Jamie Tedder working on the bottom side, almost like the middle groove there for the 910. He's got a different groove than these guys are running behind him. He's trying to work to draft a little bit there, Phil, playing both these lines here as the 49 of Frank Divens now muscles back on the high side. He's going to be able to pull up right behind the number 910 of Jamie Tedder. Chevier's now dropping back to third, maybe even fourth here on this exchange. The 028 of Monte Keller now to third. Here comes the 49 of Frank Divens slingshot maneuver coming out of 4.
Yeah, he's found the low side. Looks like he may punch his ticket to the race lead for the first time tonight. Tries to slide up the hill. Jamie with a great run on the outside. Keep the Jamie Tedder machine now out to the race lead. But here comes Monte Keller, Todd. That 028, he's up to the third spot. He may be rolling for second by the time they hit turn 2.
Yeah, Keller having one whale of a run. He's got a different groove. He's working on the bottom side, middle to bottom with that 028 right now. He's able to use that to his advantage right now, able to be able to pull up behind the 49 of Frank Divens. 910 and Jamie Tedder is running in the top spot right now with Frank Divens running in second. I wonder how many slingshot maneuvers we're going to see there, Phil. Is Monte Keller almost up into the wall in that 028 machine. A little bit of push there, middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, he did certainly get a good deal of push there. Had to roll off the gas to catch that thing, but something you just said, Todd, how many slingshot maneuvers are we going to see here at Michigan tonight? We talked in the pre-race about how we're going to see the draft play a role here at Michigan, but what do you think the draft is going to be like, Todd? Now they got 5 or 6 now on lap number 7 on these tires as they charge them hard. Do you think tires are going to fall off any? I mean, how much do you think that the drafting effect maybe break off here as these tires get worn?
Oh, you're going to see some of these guys break off. It's going to have to be a conserve on Michigan. It's almost like a super speedway atmosphere, but it's a little rougher on the tires around the 2.0 Michigan International Speedway, so 2 mile Michigan International Speedway, Phil. So some of this drafting is going to play a role, but also you don't want to burn up your tires being behind somebody. You get one whale of a run. It looks like, as Frank Divens was showing you earlier, you can slingshot down to the bottom side, but that top side right now has so much more momentum here, and you can save your tires up there, Phil. So you don't want to pull too many slingshot maneuvers. I think your tires are going to burn up.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And just looking out through the rest of the top 10, Todd, we were seeing some great racing for about that 8th position on back, seeing Robert Bauckham and Bill Salo with number 68. We certainly don't see Bill enough here on DRTV. He's rolling in that Dodge up on the high side. Just seeing these guys, Todd, trying to make maneuvers on the low side of the speedway. Looks like the tires are really agreeing with the middle and the high lane. Looks like these guys really having trouble keeping these things go to the bottom to complete these passes.
As now we got a battle for the lead as Monte Keller glances off the wall there. Into the third spot, we do have a new race leader, the 49 of Frank Divens, now into the lead. Now the 910 of Jamie Tedder is running second. Frank Divens pulled a maneuver on the top side of the speedway coming out of the corner to put him into the lead. Chevier now third. Fourth is Rex Adams. He's battling heavy with the number 43 car in that third spot of Chevier. Here comes the number 028 of Monte Keller back down to the inside trying to get around Rex Adams. Adams after that glancing blow to the outside wall there. Not able to hold up the momentum on the bottom side there. It's kind of stalling middle to off there, Phil. It looks like that high side's just too fast. You can keep that momentum up.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, Todd, could it be a byproduct of these guys driving into the corner really, really hard and those things washing up and having to roll out of the throttle to keep it down there? Or do you think it's just a product of that top lane being the fast way around and the best way to conserve tires? Because you've seen Monty, he made that move on the inside lane. Now he's lost 2, maybe 3 positions here as they hit the start-finish line toward turn 1.
It's got to be a byproduct. If you're going to chew up your tires running down into the bottom side of this track, and you're going to put. It looks like the setup's pushing up just a little bit, but as I say that, Monte Carlo running on the bottom perfectly fine there, coming through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. But it just looks like the top groove is the place to run, where you can conserve the most of your tires here around the Michigan International Speedway.
While we're watching this race up near the front of the field, I was watching Jamie Tedder. He's got the pressure all over the 49 of Frank Divens. Jamie trying to look to that low side. He thought better of it there. He fell back in line, Todd. I think, as we talked about through these first dozen laps or so, the high lane certainly wants to be the way around. Don't want to grind those tires up on the low side, just as we say that on cue, exiting turn 2. The 910 diving to low side. Does he have enough room as they exit the corner?
Not going to be able to do so down the back straightaway. It's still Divens in the lead. The 910 of Jamie Tedder running in that second spot. The 43 Mike Chevier under heavy pressure. Looks like from the number 8 machine of Bink Lucas. Lucas now moves himself into 4th slide job almost in the corner. Rex Adams off the outside wall, but Rex saves it. He's still in that 5th spot, but he does lose 4th to Bink Lucas.
Yeah, and this shows you how much of just a run there. When you get that inside car starting to push up the racetrack, you could certainly lose air up against that wall in that high lane, and that certainly happened to Rex there as he got loose. He tagged the outside wall. Bink Lucas was able to drive the 8 machine now up to the 4th spot, but we look back to the front, Todd. We see a race for the race lead. It's a caution flag. Caution flag for the first time tonight here, the 6th annual Hawk Tribute at the Michigan International Speedway. Looks like the 21 of Steve Booney may be one of the guys involved. Looks like a multiple car incident here, Todd. Not sure if you get a better look at it, but we'll certainly not steal Rich's thunder as he'll be busy with the replay. But, kudos to these guys. The first 13 or 14 laps here on the green, Todd. Fantastic racing by these guys.
Yeah, definitely fantastic racing by these guys here early on. It's not really, it doesn't look like a multi-car wreck there. We're going to let Rich replay that through, but it looks like 3 cars involved in that wreck. Looks like not very big blows, but we'll just let Rich go back through the replay and show you guys out there. But, it's been one whale of a race here for the first dozen laps. These guys putting on a whale of a show, Phil, here at the Michigan International Speedway. These guys challenging for the lead. It looks like we said earlier, the top side looks to be the place to be. You're able to slingshot, though, from behind one of the guys in front of you and able to get a nice run down on the bottom side. But when they're coming off the corner, you want to be on the top side because these guys are keeping up their momentum. It's just going to be hard unless you try to pull a slide job to get by somebody in the middle to bottom groove.
Now, the question I got for you is how willing are you to be aggressive on outside lane, knowing that guy is charging on the inside lane and burning his tires? How conservative on that outside lane do you want to be? Because you're certainly going to have one eye out that left side window, Todd, looking at that car sliding up the banking.
Well, you want to be a little bit conservative, but you don't want to be too much conservative because those guys could pull off that slide job on you, and then they're going to steal that top groove away from you, and then you're behind them. So you don't want to pull too much of that off. But Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, is ready down there in the little trailer down there with our replay.
Yeah, guys, you called it right. There was about 3 or 4 different cars involved in this accident. We're going to keep our eyes currently on the 028 of Monte Carlo. Going to kind of let this run through at full speed. He gets up against the wall. The wall sucks him in. He cannot get off of it. Next thing you know, he finally does get off the wall, but he's sliding right in front of the 21. That's going to tag the 21 as well, send him around. Next thing you know, we're going to have another couple cars trying to avoid him down on the bottom. We'll go ahead and come out with the camera to see if we can't see exactly who that was coming by there. Actually, it was a little bit further, so we'll go ahead and advance this car up. That's going to be the 013 of Hooper. He's going to get around as well, put him back into the wall. So 3 cars right there involved, the 21, the 013, and the 028 of Monte Carlo. Back up to you guys.
All right. Well, very good down there in the control booth as always, Rich. And I just want to make mention here is our broadcast partner and our buddy, Mr. Crush Skull Todd Stanton. He called that a little trailer down there. I don't consider that thing a little trailer, Rich. You got a lot going on down there.
Yeah, I'm kind of busy down here. We just did some upgrading as well, so I got my hands a little bit full, and we're gonna get through this and find my new routine, and it'll be like nothing ever happened.
Well, it's all good. Rich, as always, doing a great job down there. I know you've certainly had your hands full. I know three of us, we've all been certainly carrying busy schedules here away from DRTV. So convening here tonight, trying to put a bang-up show here together, and, you know, the product is speaking for itself tonight. These guys at SMO, Todd, as always, putting on one whale of race. These guys certainly through these first 15 or so laps at Michigan, they have run all over this joint, putting on some great, tremendous racing. I think we're going to see a lot of great racing here going forward. I'm even going to predict here off this restart, Todd. I think maybe the next round we may see around the green flag pit stops. Hopefully don't have the jinx there as I say that, but I certainly think we're going to see some great racing. What did you see looking down up and down pit road, Todd? Anybody coming in taking tires?
Yeah, the 49 came in, Frank Divins, the 910 machine. He also came in. Chevier and Lucas all took 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and some Sunoco Racing Fuel aboard their machines. Those are the 4 guys I followed down on pit road, Phil. So all of them took 4 fresh tires. Frank Divins came back out with the lead in that number 49 machine. Jamie Tedder, second, third was Chevier, and of course fourth was Bank Lucas. Robert Balcom making some moves in this race. He's running inside the top 5. That's going to be one of those guys to watch out for in that 118 machine.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And, you know, if we get the chance, we'll definitely catch up with Robert here a little later on because, you know, he's always got a lot of cool things to say out there. You know, he's certainly fast. While we have a minute here, I don't see lights out on the pace car quite yet. So I want to see if we can't talk to one of the SMO legends here or not. Certainly a great buddy to us as well. He's been very, very loyal supporter here. So we'll see if we can't get a quick word with our friend, Mr. Bob Tompkins Sr. Let's see if we can't get Bob up here, screened out into the booth. I think there we go. Bob Tompkins, my friend. Phil from DRTV, buddy. Do you have a copy?
I got you, go.
Bob, having a tremendous run out there in the number 81 so far. You had a great qualifying run here tonight. You were out there in the top 5 for a little bit. Tell us about your car so far.
Well, it's pretty good. I wanted to drop back a little bit. I want to save some tires. I eat tires up here pretty bad.
Well, Todd and I were just talking about that too, Bob. How much do you think tire wear is going to play off here over the course of a long green flag run? Because we're seeing everybody kind of staying up to the high side. You think that's what we're going to see here the rest of the night? There's guys wanting to save their tires in the high lane?
Well, I think so. I have a bad habit of using the bottom lane in the turns, and I eat mine up, but it's all fun. I think the guys are going to be worried about their tires and try to take care of them, though.
Well, Bob, I see the pace car lights are out in turn number 2. I want to give you a quick second here. I know we're here in Hawk's honor here tonight, the 6th annual race. Give us about a 10-second blurb here of recollections of Hawk and what he meant to everybody here at SMO.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here. I won't miss these races. It's really cool, and it's all for Hawk. Thank you guys. Thank SMO for having me. I'm really having a lot of fun.
All right, Bob. We'll be cheering for you as always, buddy. And that number 81, give that thing a good ride. And good luck the rest of the night, my friend. We'll be talking to you here again real soon.
Thank you.
All right, Todd. That's our good buddy, Mr. Bob Tompkins Sr. in the number 81. Had a great qualifying run. Going to restart. Looks like around that 9th position. We'll certainly keep our eye on Bob and everybody out there. Is lights are off with DRTV pace fan Todd. They are off of turn number 4, and we're getting ready to put this thing back under the green flag conditions.
Yeah, getting ready to put this thing under green flag conditions. Again, a little info on Bob Tompkins. He started racing online in 1999. He came back to SMO in 2006, racing for a while, then dropped out for a while, but he's been back for a few years. He's still having fun at the age of 75, guys. 75, I still want to be racing this game at 75. I tell you what, that's a feature in itself. Green flag is in the air once again, as now the 49 of Frank Divins leading the charge. Down into turn 1, but here comes the 910 of Jamie Tedder down to the bottom side.
Yeah, he was our pole sitter, the number 910. He's got that thing wound up to the low side. Can't quite make that run work. Frank Divins got the high lane working there. The 49 maintaining the race lead. Jamie Tedder right there, the 910, and a great run so far, Todd. The 43 of Mike Chevrier. We know he's certainly fast in the 43. He's going to look to make something happen as they're single file off of turn 4.
Yeah, single file. These guys all in line in lockstep with one another coming down the front straightaway. Nobody's jumping out of the line quite yet, but we've seen a lot of passes coming down into turn number 1 or coming into turn number 3. These guys trying to pull slingshots. They're not going to do so here amongst the top 5 here. Jamie Tedder now making a liar out of myself as now he comes down to the bottom side trying to pass somebody out of corner number 2, trying to pass the 49er. Divins out of 2. He's not able to do so there, Phil.
No, riding back in the line, just looking up and down the field, Todd. Looks like that's the way of the land. Certainly through in the top 10. Everybody staying in that middle lane up near the wall. Nobody daring to move to that inside lane. Frank Divins out with the lead. Jamie Tedder right there in his tire tracks. Mike Chevrier, a great run for Bink Lucas out the gate. And you look right behind Bink, just a couple of car lengths behind the 118 of Robert Baucom. He's found his way up to the top 5. I think he'll be a player before this thing is out. But a great race now for the race lead off of 2, Todd.
And there's one of those flag job maneuvers there, and almost Jamie Tedder in that 910 machine almost able to pull it off there. He almost looked like he was on the dirt tracks in that number 910 machine trying to get up in front of the 49 of Frank Divins. Not able to do so here, coming down into 3 and out of 4. Divins still your current race leader. The 910 of Jamie Tedder getting one whale of a run there on the bottom side, trying to get around the 49 of Frank Divins. Not able to do so here. But here comes Chevier in that number 43 machine. He's closing up on the rear bumper of the 910.
Yeah, he certainly is. He is right there now, going to peek to the low side. Not sure he's going to make anything happen there. Jamie trying to look to the low side of Frank. Frank, certainly he's going to fast hot rod aboard that number 49. Nothing happening throughout the top 10, Todd. Looking at that, those top 4, they had broken away. But now with the help of Robert Baucom, the 118, he's going to bring that 5-car train right behind him. He's going to pull that forward. We're going to make that an 8-car train up for the race lead, all chasing Frank Divins toward turn 1.
Yeah, Divins still able to hold on to the lead here in corner number 1. Big question going to have to be answered here. Is Jamie Tedder going to jump out of line here down into turn 1? He is not going to do so here in the 910. Looks like the 43 of Chevier was ready to go with him that time, but the 910 and Jamie Tedder thought better of it. He did not have the run that he wanted to get around the 49 of Frank Divins. He's still running in that second spot. Is he going to jump out of the line this time? It looks like he's no, he's not going to do so. Now he switches up to the high side, Phil, flirting with disaster almost up there by that wall.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if I'm Jamie Todd. What is the right play there? Because certainly, you're going to have to really drive it harder than you want to on the low side. Certainly not enough room to make that there in the high lane. If you're Jamie Todd, are you just going to ride in the tire tracks and hopefully hope for a guy like Frank to make a mistake? Because I think it's certainly too early to want to burn your tires up if you're Jamie Tedder in the 910.
Yeah, certainly too early, but I'd like to lead some laps here on DRTV. That's what I think going through Jamie Tedder's mind. But he's got to look at his tire temps and make sure everything is all right there. Aboard that 910 machine, you heat those tires up. You're going to burn them off here real quick, and instead of battling for first, you're going to be battling for 16th. And that's something you don't want to do, burn your tires off early on in the going, especially this early into a green flag run.
No, certainly not at all, as we're seeing single file racing throughout the speedway here. Now working lap number 20 of 80 race lead. Jamie Tedder, Mike Chevrier, Bink Lucas, Robert Baucom. Half a second off the race lead. He is right there in tow. 6 through 10, we find Bill Salo. Rex Adams is 7th. Matt Wiedemeyer 8th. Brian Wolf is 9th. Dennis Chambers having a great run. He's currently in the top 10. 11th is Bob Kincaid. Eddie Lee is 12th. Dick Jordan 13th. Charles Hooper is 14th. Monty Keller currently in the 15th spot. Bob Tompkins has faded all the way now back to the 16th position. P.A. Strop, the 24. He's currently 17th. Kenny Tedder is 18th. Steve Looney 19th. And Matthew Wisniewski in the number 20. He's the 20th car out on the racetrack. They're all over the speedway, currently 4.5 seconds separating our race leaders. As a field, Todd, all now into turn number 3, chasing Frank Divins.
Yeah, definitely chasing Frank Divins up there up front with the 910 of Jamie Tedder sitting in that second spot. 3rd is the 43 of Mike Chevrier. 4th is the number 8 machine of Bink Lucas. 5th is the 118 of Robert Baucom. Bill Salo. As now we got a battle for the lead once again. Here comes the 910 of Jamie Tedder. He has help from Chevier. Chevier going to make it almost 3 wide here coming out of corner number 2. Not able to pull off the pass here on Frank Divins. That leaves the door wide open for the 8 of Bink Lucas. He's motoring around on the outside. Here comes the 118 machine. That's Robert Baucom. He's battling on the top side too. Tedder stuck on the bottom side in that 910 machine. That's not the place he wants to be. He does have help from the 43 Chevier, but these guys guys are motoring around him on the top side of the speedway.
Yeah, we've talked about it all night long. Certainly, it sounds like the place you want to be is in that top lane. Frank Divins, he's currently with the race lead. Moved Bink Lucas to number 8 now up to that second spot. Robert Balcom, he's been able to motor that Menards machine, that number 118. He's currently third. A great battle going on for the 4th spot. Jamie Tettertot, he's locked in the low side. Bill Salo is 68 now. Looks like he's going to make that charge, put the 68 in the 4th into turn 3.
Yeah, that move was costly there for the 910 machine. As he tried to move into that first position, he dropped himself from 2nd to 5th in a hurry in that 910, and that's a tough break for Jamie Tedder, as these guys now got around him, so he's going to have to work his way back up towards the front of this field. Even though he's inside the top 5, it looks like it's being very, very difficult track to pass on here this evening. These guys running on the top side of the speedway, it just does not look like you're able to pull off anything on the bottom, even if you have a little bit of help. Like I said, Robert Balcom now on the move. He is running in that 3rd spot. Second is Bink Lucas, and Lucas is all over the rear bumper of the 49 machine.
Yeah, he is all over that back bumper, as you said, as they hit that turn number 1. Having a great race there throughout the top 5 and 6 positions. Those top 6 cars now, Todd, starting to pull away. Frank Divins, our race leader in the 49. Bink Lucas, Robert Balcom, Bill Salo, and Jamie Tedder. He's faded back to 5th, Todd, but he's done the worst of the wear. He's certainly on the move. A great race now, looking like for the 3rd spot. That's 60 to Bill Salo on the move.
Yeah, he's definitely on the move in that number 68 machine. No, he's not moving, but here comes the number 8 of Bink Lucas. He's going to try to go down to the bottom side in that number 8 machine, trying to get around the 49 of Frank Divins. He's not going to be able to do so, but he left the door wide open for Robert Balcom. Balcom now on the top side of the speedway. He's going to pull off that pass. He's into second in the 118 machine. Drop kick the 8 of Bink Lucas back to that 3rd spot.
Yeah, those 8 and that 68, those things almost look similar on my screen there as I look just clicking up and down my screen. That was Bink Lucas diving the low side, but now here comes Bill Salo. That's 68. He's going to try to make the move to the low side. He'll fall back in line. So far, Todd, 30 laps in, the inside lane, certainly not the place to be.
No, certainly is not the place to be. I've been looking up and down for the fastest laps of the evening so far, and that's with 30-plus laps there, Phil. Guess who has the fastest lap of the evening so far?
Oh, if I had to take a guess up and down the list, Todd, I'm thinking it's probably going to be the 68. I've seen him working real good in the draft.
It's actually the 24 P. Astrop. The 24 is the fastest, has been the fastest car here, put up the fastest time here so far in the first 30 laps of this event. You got the 8 of Bink Lucas. He's 3rd fastest. Balcom is right there though. He's at his 4th quickest. So I'm looking up and down in the draft, Phil. Remember we had qualifying times of 38 threes. Or 37 threes. In the draft, these guys are running 36 sevens together. And you're looking at the fastest speeds, and that's the top 9 on the speed charts with the fastest laps. You got the 24, the 013, the 8, the 118, the 68, the 5, the 21, the 7, the 29, all in the 36-7 bracket.
Yeah, that's certainly impressive. As you know, lightning fast speeds in the draft, and it's paying off. You're seeing many of those car numbers you're rattling off, Todd, are all currently sitting in those top 6 or 7 positions. It's been a 7-car breakaway at the front of the field. Those guys have separated themselves a second from our 8th place contender. That's Matt Wiedemeyer, the 76, Brian Wolf, the 29. Those guys off, 3.5 seconds off the lead. There was interesting moments there in that front group, Todd. Looked like Jamie Tedder, he got loose, almost had that thing up against the wall, and he made a miraculous save. The stunt-driving Tedder's at it again. There is Jamie in the 910. A great save off of turn 4.
Yeah, Jamie Tedder, great save aboard that 910, but that's going to hurt his tires right now. He's running in that 7th position. He's going to that had to blister the 910's tires. It's a tough break. He did save it. I don't believe he caused very much damage to that 910 machine, but one whale of a save for Jamie Tedder.
Something I'm just looking up and down the standings, Todd, as we were talking about that second pack forming together there. Matt Wiedemeyer, Brian Wolf running by themselves. But looking now back to the 10th position on back, we're seeing the likes of heavy hitters. Bob Kincaid is back there. Charles Hooper, we see Monty Keller. He's back there in 12th. He was fast early on. Pete H. with 24. He was the fastest car on the racetrack. He was one of the fastest cars of that group. They're all locked together about 6 seconds off of this pace. You think these guys, Todd, out there maybe, injecting some sort of strategy? Are they saving fuel and tires? Are they thinking they're going to make this thing on one less stop than everybody else? What do you think those guys in that second pack there, grouped on back, are thinking?
I'm thinking a lot of those guys are saving tires and waiting for a green flag pit stop, and a lot of those guys, I'm telling you, are mired amongst that second pack. And we've raced over here a handful of times there, Phil, with these guys, and great bunch of guys, I might add. But these guys know their pit strategies, and a lot of times, I'm going to tell you that 24 PA drop, he gets in and out of pit road really, really quick. So look for him on pit strategy to get himself up inside this top 5 after a green flag pit stop.
No, the Viper, he's one of the guys here. When you sign into the SMO servers, you see that name on the list. He's certainly one you want to pay attention to because he's certainly one of the faster drivers. You come over here, and as Todd said, him and I, we've raced here actively recently here at SMO. These guys are a great group of guys. Check them out, smo-hardcore.com. Multiple mods, different nights of the week. Check out all the great things they have going on. Let Jamie and Pete and Bill and all the guys over here take good care of you. The racing over here is first class. The adminship, everything over here. The driver is such a great group. So check these guys out at SMO Hardcore. Is a great race up front, Todd. Frank Divins, he's been out there kind of unchallenged the last 15 laps or so, but Robert Balcom there, the 118, we know he's a fast driver, and he's looking to make something happen up there in that 118. He was looking for the lead. Don't think he can pull it off, but if somebody's saving their car and knows how to get around Michigan, it's certainly Robert Balcom.
Yeah, he did try to pull a pass on the leader, Frank Divins. He pulled out of line, and that wasn't so good for the 118 machine as he dropped back to 4th. Now able to recoup himself around the 68 of Bill Salo. Now he's back up to 3rd. Bink Lucas and the 49 of Frank Divins. About a 10-car length advantage coming down the back straightaway. Lucas all over the rear bumper of Divins. Lucas trying to the top side of the speedway. Divins now able to close the door there a little bit with the 49 machine as it looks like Bink Lucas now trying to go back down to the bottom side of Divins. Not going to be able to pull the pass coming off of 4 down the front straightaway. Divins still your current race leader with Lucas sitting in that 2nd spot, and Robert Balcom one whale of a momentum grip here with that 118 machine. He is closing fast.
Well, I think that's a testament of how strong this draft is at Michigan here tonight, Todd. As you said, last time around, those top two, they had a 10-car length advantage on Robert Balcom. Well, look at that. With the benefit of the draft, he's cut that thing down to 2-car lengths, and he's on the move. He may look to the outside, looking at challenging now for the 2nd spot in turn 3.
Yeah, he's way up on the top side of the speedway. It looks like these guys, he's just flying on the top side of the speedway. It looks like the 49 of Frank Divins coming down pit road. Looks like maybe even the 8 of Bink Lucas also coming down on pit road. The 50 of Rex Adams on pit road. These guys all on pit road. It looked like Robert Balcom was just flying around these guys. We were not sure that these guys were pitting. And Divins and the 8 of Lucas down on pit road along with Rex Adams and the 50 machine. Is this kind of a short pit, Phil?
Well, looking at it, I think it was probably about, 25 laps just about, Todd. So we're getting here to the tail end of a full fuel run for these guys. See Frank Divins, that Napa Auto Parts Ford, number 49 from Screaming Eagle Racing on pit road. It's going to be 4 tires for our race leader, Frank Divins. Left sides are in the air, left sides are down. He's down and away.
Robert Balcom now relinquishing the lead after he just grabbed it there a lap prior in that 118 machine. Now he's down to go to the 8 of his pit crew in that 118 machine. He's driving down here slow pace here, getting into his pit stall. Does not drive through in that 118 machine. Right side tires going on the 118. Robert Balcom looks like the rest of the field coming down. Hopefully Phil can catch up with some of these guys. Right side tires on and completed for the 118. Left side tires also for Robert Balcom. He's going to be down and away, Phil.
I'm down in the Jamie Tedder pit. He was on the pole. He's at the far end of pit road. Right side tires up for the 910. They're going to swing over. It's going to be a 4-tire pit stop for that Dodge number 910. 4 tires. Left side work is down. Waiting on the gas. 910 Jamie Tedder. He's down and away.
Look who inherits the lead after green flag pit stops. The number 24, Pete Astrop, right now behind the 49 of Frank Divins. How long do you want to stay out on older tires, as these guys are all on fresh tires? Divins out in front of him, but he is 15th right now. Just off he's in the lead lap, but he's in the clutches of the 24 machine of Pete Astrop. How long before he comes down? He's a tire conserver, but it looks like Astrop going to come down pit road this time maybe. I'm looking in the 24. It looks like he's starting to slow down. He is indeed going to come down to pit road and relinquish the lead.
Well, he certainly is, and I think he had to, Todd. As you said, he's a king at conserving gas and tires over here at SMO. He wins a ton of races over here. When you see that 24 sign in, I mean, it's just right away. Look out for the guy. He's certainly fast. He's going to relinquish the lead, and I think he had to, Todd. We're at the very, very end of what these cars can hold as far as consumption for fuel on a long green flag run. Can't imagine it's going to be anything less than a 4-tire stop. That Dodge Challenger, he's found his way in. Right side tires are up and down on the 24. Now over to the left side tires. It's going to be 4 tires full of Sunoco Racing fuel for Pete A-Strop. He's down and away.
Definitely down and away. He's going to join the action out there on the Michigan International Speedway once again aboard the 24. A little 2 laps, probably fresher tires than the rest of the field. Trying to catch up, waiting for scoring and timing to catch up here with us so we can see who is your current race leader. It looks like Dennis Chambers was your leader at one point here in the 110 machine. Looks like he's coming off of pit road also. And the 210 of Eddie Lee, Fast Eddie Lee, also coming off of pit road. So those guys have completed the service of their pit stops. So we're just waiting for scoring and timing to reset. Maybe Robert Balcom may be the leader in the 118 machine. We're just going to have to see if he did. Yep. It is Robert Balcom. One whale of a jump there in that 118 machine. Fantastic pit stop for the 118. As you see, all the guys down on pit road high-fiving each other. Robert Balcom, now your race leader.
Yeah, and he's out there. He's got 8 tenths or better, Todd. He certainly hit the nail there on the pit stop. He did it absolutely flawless. But now you look behind him in the rearview mirror. We're seeing the likes of Frank Dibbins, Bink Lucas, Bill Salo. They're going to round up in a 3-car draft, Todd. Is it going to be only a matter of time, 1 versus 3? I think these 3 guys, 2nd through 4th, I think it's only a matter of time before they run Robert Balcom down and take away the great advantage he gained there on that pit stop.
Yeah, it won't take that long for those guys to catch the 118 of Robert Balcom. But we've seen all evening long here, the guys that are running the top side of the speedway, it's real tough to pass on the bottom side. They're maybe in the 49 of Frank Dibbins. He's going to have to be able to get around the 118 of Robert Balcom. He knows how tough it is and how tough it was for somebody to get around that number 49 machine. Now he's going to have to do that and try to get around the 118 of Robert Balcom. But these guys look like they're closing the gap just a little bit as a Frank Dibbins machine now right all over the rear bumper of the 118 of Robert Balcom. Bink Lucas still running in that 3rd spot. He is .841 back, but I believe he's going to be able to catch Dibbins also aboard that machine, and he's only .439 back. So Lucas now right in the fray with that number 8 machine. Salo right there also in that 68.
Now, and put you in big shoes here, Todd, in that number 8 machine. He's catching that front 2 duo now with the help of Bill Salo there right behind him. Are you pedal to the metal from here now? Are you going to put that thing to the floor in the number 8 and just try to make that thing, just leave it all out on the table and catch those top 2? Or are you thinking, hey, I got the draft. I'm going to conserve this thing. I'm going to run it easy. What are you going to do if you're behind the wheel of number 8 at this point?
Well, right now I'm just waiting for another pit stop here, and maybe just hold my line. I'm trying to test out my tires. I mean, a lot of these guys have had practice races and see what was going to go on here with the tires and the setup and everything that's going on. Is now Frank Dibbins battling for the lead there down on the bottom side with help from the 8 of Bink Lucas. The 118 of Robert Balcom still on the top side of the speedway. He's not going to give up. Here comes Lucas to the top side, but looks like Dibbins able to muster himself around the number 118 machine. He's the only guy to be able to do so here in that number 49 machine, able to stick that pass and get right back in front of the lead. But here comes Balcom back down to the bottom side. He's going to try to pull off that pass, but he's not going to be able to do so in that 118 machine. The 49 of Frank Dibbins still leading, Phil. But back to your comment there, Lucas right now, I would sit there and just ride for right now until my final pit stop.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and we're past the halfway marker now. You look at the board, we're working lap number 47 of the 80 laps. I think it's safe to say, Todd, a little less than 35 laps remaining. I think it's certainly safe to say one more pit stop under green flag conditions will make the distance from here. I think you're right. If I'm Big Lucas, Todd, I think you're going to save, and all you can, ride in line, just conserve that stuff. And I think that money stop tonight, that last one, that's going to play the tail of this thing through this last second half of this race.
Yeah, you're going to have to nail that stop, and it looks like the 118 of Robert Balcom, his crew is up to the challenge there. He was the guy to get out there the fastest off of pit road, so we're going to have to see this if we get a final green flag pit stop. Aboard that 118 machine, is that crew going to be able to pull off a better pit stop and be able to lengthen himself in front of these guys? That's going to be the key determining factor of this race. We stay green flag, Phil. These guys are going to have to nail their pit stops, and it could be costly mistakes on pit road that's going to cost you the race. So we're going to have to see what happens here. But racing starting to unfold just a little bit here up towards the front. Robert Balcom there peeked out of line there momentarily in that 118 machine, not ready to make a pass on the 49 of Frank Dibbins. But talking about Dibbins, Phil, he's the only guy to be able to pull that slide job maneuver here so far tonight, and he's got one fast hot rod.
No, he's certainly shown to be the class of the field here through these middle stages of this race. That number 49, that Napa Auto Parts Screaming Eagle Racing Machine. He's certainly fast. Robert Bauckham right there in that second spot. Bink Lucas in the third spot. The number 8, 68 of Bill Salos currently fourth. Mike Chevrier, the number 43, currently fifth. Now a big, bold move there for Bink Lucas. He rolled the 8 machine to the low side. He may claim second from Robert Bauckham, Todd. They're side by side through turn 2.
Again, the 8 of Bink Lucas not able to make it stick there on the bottom side. He's going to lose a position from the 68 machine of Bill Salo. Salo now to third. Fourth now is the 43 of Mike Chevier. So Chevier now to that fourth spot. Drop kick. Bink Lucas back to fifth. He tried that maneuver. He seen Frank Divens was able to do it. He thought he could do it, and he just couldn't.
Now, what do you think the rationale, the 49, Todd, as you said, and I made the same thought here a little while ago. He seemed to be the only guy able to pull that thing to the low side, keep that power down, and make that thing stick. What do you think his car that everybody else has got? I mean, he's certainly shown to be the class of the field, and it looks like nobody can really seriously mount a challenge there on that low side.
Yeah, it's just all about how you utilize that draft, I think, in that 49. And Divens had a pretty good draft there. But also, I don't know if Robert Bauckham might have let off a little bit there just to ride behind Frank Divens, make him maybe even use up his tires. Maybe smart thinking on Bauckham's part. Maybe he backed out of it and let Divens go by that quick, and maybe that's why he did pull off that pass. So there's a lot of different things that could go on there, and a lot of things that go through drivers' minds here, Phil, especially this late in the race here. We're 12 laps past halfway here, so we're about 28 laps away from the finish here at the Michigan International Speedway. So maybe Robert Bauckham just playing with the 49's head.
Well, I think you could be right. I'm going to ask that same question to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton in the booth. Rich, you got all the awesome looks here around this 2-mile speedway. It's a big, wide place at Michigan. You got all the sweet camera angles to look at down there. What do you think that 118 Robert Bauckham is doing? You think he's just being smooth and calculated and saving his stuff? Because we've seen him do it before. We know he's fast. Do you think that's what he's doing?
I think somewhat. We've seen Divens and Bauckham on a lot of DRTV presentations, and they're both talented drivers, no doubt. I think Bauckham's waiting to set him up. I don't think he's staying back there because he can't do anything else. I think he's just waiting for the right moment, the right time, and I believe he's got enough patience in him to wait Divens out. And I would not be shocked if we get close to the end of this thing and Bauckham makes a last-minute run and wins this. I think Bauckman's going to be my pick at this point.
Well, we'll put Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, on. He's the first one going to put that feeler out there tonight. We talk about that DRTV Black Cloud. He's picking early indications here, picking Robert Bauckham to go to victory lane. I think that's a pretty good bet, but that 49 of Frank Divens, he's certainly shown to be the class of the field all night long. But another guy, Todd, having a great one we certainly don't see over here on DRTV enough. That number 60 to Bill Salo, he's in that third spot. Bill having a tremendous run out there tonight.
Yeah, Bill Salo is having a tremendous run there, as now he's getting passed by the 43 of Mike Chevier. Chevier working on the bottom side, but again, Salo able to hold up there on the top side. Not going to be able to do so there. Looks like the 43 of Chevier working over that bottom side a little bit. He's able to slide up in front of the 68 of Bill Salo. Lucas trying to follow suit, not able to do so as that door slams shut by the 68 of Bill Salo. Lucas still all over the rear bumper of Salo, but these guys right now, third, fourth, and fifth, looks like there's some separation between those guys and the Frank Divens machine and Robert Bauckham.
Yeah, and you look, it's a 6-car breakaway at the front of the field. Frank, Robert Bauckham, Mike Chevrier, Bill Salo, Bink Lucas, Rex Adams, your top 6. Those guys have 10 seconds on the rest of the field. On 7th place, Pete H. Strop with 24. Bob Kincaid, Jamie Tedder, Charles Super, your current top 10. Those guys all 10 seconds or better in the rear. So as we look to the front of this field, Todd, a 6-car breakaway. We're probably about 8 or 10 laps away from being in our pit stop window here to get on pit road for the last time tonight. You're putting that in the back of your mind, which we've seen a lot of green flag racing, and I'm certainly sure you're probably thinking that as well. Where do you want to be among this top 6 as you think to make that last green flag pit stop, the money stop as we call it? Do you want to be Frank out there in the front? Do you want to be guys like Bill and Bink in the middle of that thing, or do you want to be the 50 of Rex Adams and just kind of ease that way in and get all you can on pit road? Where would you like to be in that top 6 preparing for that last pit stop?
I would like to be I'm going to say right around where Bill Salo or Bink Lucas is, 4th or 5th, and trying to prepare myself for that last pit stop and see where it goes from there. I'm not going to make any challenges here. I'm going to sit back, wait for this last green flag pit stop if it does prevail here, and try to use a little strategy to get out in front of these guys, because if you can have a better pit stop than these guys, it's proven time and time again that it's hard for these guys to pass. It's extremely hard. You can make that car pretty wide here at the Michigan International Speedway, where these guys are not going to be able to pass you.
Yeah, I think I want to be Frank's car on pit road as well. I want to be leading this thing on the pit road. I want to get all I can. I don't want to think of any of these guys behind me having to run me over. I don't want to have to serve somebody out my windshield and get on the breakers. I think I want to be the 49. Get on the pit road as hard as you can. Cannot get a penalty. You can't stress that enough under green. You got to hit everything just right. You cannot get an infraction on pit road and throw this race away. But I think I want to be the 49. Get it on pit road. Get the work done, get out of there fast. I think that's where I want to be, but, maybe not that thing, Todd, looking at the front of the field. Robert Barker, the 118, he's been able to put that thing to the low side. New race leader off of turn 2.
Yeah, new race leader, the 118 of Robert Balcom. Strong arms, the 49 of Frank Divins. Divins drop kicked back to the 4th position, and also the 43 of Chevier and the 68 of Bill Salo. They also won around. Here comes Divins back down to the bottom side in that 49 machine. Maybe a pit stop here early on in the going, Phil. It's almost looking like he's slowing up. Yep, Divins coming down onto pit road in that 49 machine.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if these guys are able to make it from here. I was just riding in the Bink Lucas machine. Let's see what these guys do on pit road. With 20 laps to go here, Todd, these guys are certainly going to make it from here. 60 of 80 on the board. They're well within the window, so we'll see what are these guys going to do. Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be gas only? We're in the 8 machines pit. Bink onto pit road. We see right side tires in the air for the number 8. It's going to be at least 2 right side tires. Will it be 2? Will it be 4? They're going to see, is it going to be working over the left side? Yeah, it's a 4-tire pit stop for Bink Lucas. Todd, what are you seeing on your end of pit road?
Well, I was watching Bink Lucas 4-tire pit stop, like you said, and the 49 also 4-tire pit stop. These guys also down and away. I'm watching Monte Keller also. He's down on pit road, but I'm watching some of these guys down on pit road, and they took 4 tires. Is anybody going to take 2 tires? You're 10 seconds back. You're going to try to take 2 tires, Phil, on this last green flag pit stop?
Man, I'm a gambling man, Todd. I'm not only going to take 2 if I'm in the back part of that pack. I am taking 2 tires at the front of this pack. If I'm Mike Chevrier, I'm getting 2. I think we're going to see Robert Balcom on the pit road, Todd. I believe the race leader is pitting his way out of the lead. I think you got him in the 118 pit.
Yep, Robert Balcom rolling himself down to pit road speed, and in that number 118 machine, he's coming to the aid of his pit crew. And let's see what happens with Robert Balcom. 2 or 4 tires? That question is going to be answered here just momentarily as he's coming down, and he makes it into his pit stop. Did not slide through that 118 machine. Right side service going on the 118 of Robert Balcom. Right side tires are done. Looks like they're going around. Left side tires going on. 4-tire pit stop for the 118. Let's see how fast he's going to be able to get out here. Is he going to have that advantage over Frank Divins in that 118 machine, Phil?
Well, we'll have to see. I'm in the 43 of Mike Chevrier's pit. He's going to pit out of the race lead. He got on pit road awfully hard. I'm hoping he did not get a penalty there, as that thing was certainly at a high rate of speed. The 68 of Bill Salo as well. I'm thinking these guys, Todd, staying out on those older tires. I think these guys are going to be the ones that gamble. I think you're going to see a 2-tire pit stop for the 43. I'm in the Chevrier pit. Let's see what they're going to do aboard that STP, that awesome-looking retro STP in the tribute to the Nighthawk machine here tonight. It's going to be 2 right-side tires for the 43. Will they slide to the left sides? Oh, I was wrong. A 4-tire pit stop on Chevrier. Left sides are down. 43 machine, Todd, he's down and away.
Yeah, just watching, it looks like the 118 machine of Robert Balcom got way out ahead of the 49 of Frank Divins, and I'm waiting for scoring and timing to catch up here, but I'm telling you right now, Robert Balcom one whale pit stop for that 118 machine again, and I'm almost thinking it's like, where I'm looking here, Robert Balcom last time by was like 33.830, Frank Divins was 36.147, so almost 3 seconds there advantage here. It's going to close a little bit because Balcom had to get up to speed, and Frank Divins was already up to speed in that 49 machine. But wow, one whale of a pit stop for the 118 of Robert Balcom. That's a killer right there.
Yeah, and I'm waiting to see what timing and scoring is going to sort out here, because we're seeing the likes of Matt Lesniewski, Fast Eddie Lee, the number 210, Dennis Chambers, the 110, Those guys all coming in for their last round of green flag pit stop. So let's see where timing and scoring puts us here when these things all sort out. Looks like, I'm not sure these guys, as we mentioned in the top three, Todd, I'm not sure those guys have yet to come to pit road. No, they have not. We're seeing Eddie Lee and Matt Lesniewski. Those guys currently sitting 1-2 as they hit turn 2.
Yeah, I'm watching to see what's happening with these guys out here on the speedway. It's one of those gambles. I think they're hoping for a yellow flag there, Phil, though. They may have pitted later than some of these guys aboard those machines, and they're able to stay out there a little bit longer, maybe get that yellow flag that they want. But I think they're going to have to come down pit road. They're all coming down pit road this time. Matt Lesniewski going to relinquish the lead. Also, Eddie Lee, Dennis Chambers, I believe, also coming down on pit road. So those guys going to come to the aid of their pit crews, Phil.
Yeah, we'll see what the strategy is at that camp. I'm down in the number 20 camp. I'm in the Matt Lesniewski pit. Let's see what he'll do. He stayed on those old tires. I said it, Todd. Somebody has to gamble on 2 tires and see what this thing is going to shake out like. We'll see what the 20 does. It's going to be right side tires up on that Dodge Charger. Going to be at least right sides for Matt. Right sides are down. Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 4? Oh, it's going to be 4 tires, Todd. 4 tires away the land. Nobody wanting to gamble tonight on this end of pit road.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody was willing to gamble, as now I'm watching up towards the lead, and I think this time it's going to be Robert Balcom. Balcom did have one whale of a pit stop, but Frank Divins in that 49 had some drafting help there with Bink Lucas and a few other of the cars right behind him, so they were able to reel in the 118 of Robert Balcom. Now Divins down on the bottom side. Balcom has the top side of the speedway in that 118 machine, so he has the preferred groove, the more momentum. Divins now working on the bottom side once again. He has help from Bink Lucas. Looks like the 118 of Balcom gonna not be able to hold off the 49. Is 49 trying to do a slide job again? Oh, just barely in front of the 118 of Robert Balcom. Woo! Good thing there's spotters in this game. Is now Frank Divins just barely getting in front of 118. He's going to have to kill his momentum just a little bit. Robert Balcom back to second in that 118.
Yeah, that was a power move by Frank Divins in that number 49. You know, I can't believe the maneuver he made there, Todd. He's been the fastest car out there all night long, and he'll once again reclaim the race lead as they hit the start-finish line. Put number 68 up on the board. We get a dirty dozen here left at the Michigan International Speedway, the 6th annual Hawk Tribute done by our friends at the SMO Hardcore Racing League. An awesome event, the 6th year in a row. They've done this as a tribute to their fallen friend, Mr. William Hawkins, the Nighthawk, as he was known at SMO. Still a very vital part of everything these got going on. You see the Hawk tributes everywhere you go when you come to SMO. This is one of the great events these guys put on each and every year, and I know we have another one in about 6 weeks from now. We're going to see the 12th annual SMO anniversary race. Cannot wait to come back and see what these guys have in store for us here in the month of August. But let's see how this thing shapes out here, Todd. We're now just outside of 10 laps to go. Frank Divins, he's had the fastest car all night long, but he's certainly got fast machines behind him in Robert Balcom, in Bink Lucas, in Mike Chevrier. Who's it going to be? They're all still chasing Frank Divins toward turn 3.
Yeah, all still chasing Frank Divins. Turn number 3, the 49 of Frank Divins running on the top side of the speedway there with the 118 of Robert Balcom right there behind him. And he's looking him over, and I think he's trying to plot what he's going to do. There's a lap car in front of them. That's a 210. That's fast Eddie Lee trying to get out of the way of the leaders. He knows the leaders are coming, and he's down on the bottom side in that 210. He's going to give way to the 49 of Frank Divins. I almost thought Robert Balcom was going to try to use the 210 of Eddie Lee as a pick there to get around Divins, but Balcom backs off the rear bumper of the 49, maybe to try to challenge with a run here with that 118 machine.
Yeah, I keep waiting for him to challenge with that run, and it's just not coming yet. I think Robert Balcom, Todd, he's just being calculated out there. I think he understands the way to manage the car and the tires. I think he's going to manage the draft just right. I think if anybody can make that power move on the 49 here toward the end, I think I'm going to go on that limb with Rich there, Todd. I think Robert Balcom may be the guy to watch, but don't count out that number 8 of Bink Lucas. We know he's certainly fast. He's been there all night long, and he may just be riding in line, biding his time. What do you think there, Todd?
I don't know what's going to go on here. It looks like he's trying to plan to get around the 49 machine. The 49 machine. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anybody here tonight because the black cloud usually storms over top of them. But these guys amongst the top 5, one of them's going to win, Phil, and whoever's leading on that last lap, that's your winner.
And that is a bold statement by our good buddy Skull Crush Todd Stanton. You know, somebody in the top 5 is going to win this thing, and whoever's leading at the end, Todd, that is one of the more brilliant statements I've ever heard you make, partner. You know, keep pushing the bill here, pushing the envelope as we do on DRL Network week after week when we get on the air. Cannot wait till we get so much coming up here in the summer months here. Of course, we pay a visit here to the SMO guys for their 12th anniversary race. Got a lot of races here left on the schedule for the DRTV Premier Cup Series, our flagship series here on Saturday night. They're racing at Daytona as we speak. We'll update what they got going on here when we get back on the air in a couple of weeks. But let's put our attention now back here, working lap number 73, less than 10 laps to go. It's a 160-mile race here, 80 laps at Michigan tonight. Only about 16 miles here left to go to solve this thing. These guys in turn number 3 and 4. Frank Divens, Todd, starting to walk his way up the racetrack. Do you think that's something he's calculating doing? Is he doing all he can to keep the 118 behind, or are those tires getting hot out there for our race leader?
I don't know if they're getting hot. I think he's trying. To be able to hold off the 118 of Robert Balcom. Balcom working on the top side. As you see Balcom backing off here, coming into the corner, he's using that draft to his advantage in that 118 machine. But Divens trying to make sure that he's able to pull off the pass, maybe run up, or not pull off the pass, but hold off the pass here from the 118 of Robert Balcom, because he's been running way up next to that wall. And if you're going to pass somebody, you're almost going to have to pass them up top by that wall. You know, kind of a Days of Thunder move, almost scrub that wall and try to get by them. But you might be able to pull that slide job off. We've seen it twice now from the 49 of Frank Divens. And I almost think Robert Balcom is right there where he could.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm looking, you know, I know Bink Luke is certainly fast. We know Mike Chevrier, he knows his way to victory lane. And don't count out Bill Sale at number 68. He is right there in that top 5 as well. You know, it's certainly anybody's race in there from here, but can anybody do anything with that 49 of Frank Divens? I think the obvious assumption here is, Todd, that power move on the inside, you're going to have to make the move on the inside to win the race, but certainly does not look like, if we see anything indication all night long, that top side's been the way around, and Frank has been the Pied Piper. He's keeping that thing wound up on the high lane, but now, Todd, we look up ahead of him. He's got 3 lap cars up ahead. We're seeing the likes of Steve Looney, Brian Wolf, Matt Lesniewski, Matt Wiedemeyer all trying to stay on the end of the lead lap here. How much do you think lap traffic can play a key here with less down than 5 laps to go?
I've seen it time and time again in NASCAR. I've seen it time and time again in dirt racing lap cars. You can use them as a pick. If you can't maneuver through lap traffic as good, the other guy in second, I'm telling you right now, it depends on how that leader's going to get through these guys up front here. If they're going to roll over and let these guys go by, we're going to just have to wait and see, because they're going to catch them, Phil, and it's going to play right into the hands of the second, maybe third, maybe even fourth or fifth for that matter, because they're all right there close together. You can use these lap cars as an advantage here to yourself.
Well, we'll have to see how these guys maneuver these lap cars as they hit turn number 3. They're certainly all over their draft now. It's going to make it look like a big gaggle of cars here as they work their way to turns number 3 and 4. Looks like the leaders electing, as they have all night long, Todd. They're going to drift up to the high lane. All these guys falling off the lead lap. They're going to stay gentlemanly down to the low side, going to allow them guys to go by. Looking like they've cleared 1. They still got 2 or 3 more to clear, Todd. It may get dicey here. They're in turn number 2.
Yeah, it may get a little dicey here. Now looks like they're going to get around. It looks like that's a 7 machine maybe that they're putting a lap down. Yep, the 7 of Kenny Tedder. They're going to be able to. There's going to be 2 laps to go. Popsicle Sticks getting ready to come up in the air, and Divens is right there on the rear bumper of the other 2 in front of him, but 2 laps left to go. Divens does drift up the track a little bit. The 118 of Balcom ways back there just a little bit, but it looks like they're going side by side in front of Divens there. What a change here is now Divens doesn't know where to go. These guys all over the place. Divens into the wall. Here comes the 118 of Balcom. Balcom into the side of the 49 of Divens. Now here comes Bink Lucas. He's to the lead. And then number 8 machine, Chevier, now to second.
Wow, what a dramatic complexion change here as they hit turn number 2. Bink Lucas now with contact between Frank and Robert Balcom. Those 2 drivers able to drive out toward the race lead. Bink Lucas, the number 8. Mike Chevrier, the 43. They are side by side. White flag in the air. Door to door for the race lead. Who's it going to be at the line?
White Silk in the air. They are side by side here coming down the front straightaway. Lucas has the help from the lap cars up on the top side. Chevier not able to pull off that pass. They're coming down into turn number 1. Lucas, your current race leader in that number 8 machine. Chevier now second, but here comes Robert Balcom in the 118. He's going to mount a challenge here coming down the back straightaway.
Certainly going to mount a challenge. I thought Chevrier may have had something there for him. Chevrier backed off it. It's going to be settled between these two guys up front as they hit turn number 3 and 4. Big Lucas, does he have enough to put this thing to victory lane? He drifts to the high lane. Here comes Robert Balcom to the low side. We may have a side-by-side drag race off for turn number 4. Balcom to the low side. Big Lucas in the middle. Who's going to win it at the line? Give it to Big Lucas. He's going to win the 6th annual tribute race, Todd, in a near photo finish over Robert Balcom. Wow, what a tremendous race.
Fantastic race. The time of difference between those two drivers was .044 between Robert Balcom and Bink Lucas. Lucas capitalizing on a mistake, and look at that, Phil. Somebody inside the top 5 won. Oh, you're gonna have to say that. But Bink Lucas pulling off the win here. What a fantastic way for the number 8 of Bink Lucas here to win this race here this evening. And he was sitting back there in the 3rd or 4th position in that number 8 machine, and he just was able to capitalize and get around Divins and the 118 of Robert Balcom.
No, and those guys certainly put on one tremendous race indeed there. Those top 3, I thought Chevrier was going to be a player when they rolled to turn 3, but he rolled out of it. He allowed Bink Lucas and Robert Balcom there. Those guys competed neck and neck, door to door for the race win. It was Bink Lucas able to drag race his way off for turn number 4. He's going to find his way to victory lane over Robert Balcom, and on the podium tonight, that number 43 of Mike Chevrier. Todd, what a fantastic finish. And I think we've got the top 3 already screened out, so let's see if we can move straight into the post race there, as that was a fantastic finish there. Let's see if we can't catch up with our 3rd place driver, the number 43 of Mike Chevrier. The great salute there, a tribute to the Nighthawk. Bill Hawkins there at the start-finish line. A great touch and a great way to end this thing as we look there. But Mike Chevrier, it's Phil Lacasse on DRTV, buddy. Do you have a copy?
I got you, Phil.
Mike, congratulations on that top 3, man. That was a wild race. Tell us what it was like there behind the wheel, that 43, because that got certainly crazy there at the end.
Yeah, it did at the end. I was racing Bink to the line, and I thought we got a caution after the car spun, and I let out at the start-finish line, so that's why I kind of fell back there.
Now, I wasn't sure what was going on there. I'm not sure if you thought there was a caution. Wasn't sure if you thought we took the checkered flag. But nonetheless, Mike, you had a great run. Tell us what it was like out there. It looks definitely tough to pass there. It looks like it was certainly, we call a bottom feeder at the bottom. Well, certainly looked like the top side was a fast way around. Tell us just how tough was it to pass out there tonight?
Oh, this is extremely tough to pass. You'd have to go 3 cars to go under somebody, and you needed help for sure. So that's why we pretty much all stayed in line. You had to keep position and wait for the end and hope somebody goes with you.
Well, Mike, you're one of the regulars here at SMO. I know you do a lot of things with these guys all behind the scenes of what they got going on. So tell us again here. I know we're here paying tribute here to Hawk tonight, and give us a quick story here and your recollections and everything that Hawk has meant here to you guys at SMO and still currently does to this day.
Well, Hawk was the backbone of SMO. I didn't have a long time to know Hawk. He passed shortly after I started with the league, about a year or so. But all the stories I've heard and the experiences I had in the short time I knew him, he'd help everybody out. He just loved the sim. He just loved to help people out. And like I said, he was the backbone of SMO.
Well, certainly hearing all the stories tonight, Mike, I know you echo that sentiment as well, and it certainly sounds to us that you're exactly hit that on the head. Well, I think he'd be proud of this race. You guys certainly put a great show on here tonight. I want to give you the microphone one more time, Mike. Give a shout to all your sponsors. Thank you. I'd like to thank you to get you out here tonight because you guys certainly deserve it. You guys put one heck of a race on. So once again, the microphone is all yours.
First off, I'd like to thank all the guys here at SMO that I've had a pleasure of racing with over the years. Putting on such a great series here, remembering Hawk. I'm just proud to be a part of it. Thanks to you guys too for, as you always do, put on the great broadcast. You guys do such a great job there. Thanks again.
All right. Well, Mike, we certainly appreciate that. And once again, congratulations on a 3rd place run in Todd Stanton, I'm going to throw it down to you. I'm sure you've caught up with an excited number 118 of Robert Baucom, who's certainly going to be disappointed to put it on the runner-up spot here tonight, Todd, but he had a rocket ship, so I'm going to throw it down to you to get a word with our good buddy Robert.
Yeah, indeed. I've caught up with the driver of the 118, Robert Baucom. Robert, probably not the way you wanted to end there. Second place. It looked like you had a good challenge there for the lead, and looked like you were just waiting for your moment to get around the 49 of Frank Divins, and you could see it each and every lap, but still bringing home a second place in a fantastic finish. I'm telling you what, .044. What a fantastic finish between you and Bink there at the end.
Oh yeah, I was saving my stuff, and Frank's a great competitor to race with. Each time he got to me, I had some awesome pit stops. I mean, I don't know, the pit guys were on it tonight. Is all I can say. But I was kind of just riding about, kind of biding my time. Kind of if I could keep my tire temperatures down, I could make that move through 1 and 2 when I need to. And I kind of seen the slower traffic kind of going to bind him up a little bit there, so I thought that was the time to do it. And then Frank kind of got, I think maybe kind of made some touch to the wall, and he made a quick reaction. And before I could even do anything, he come across my nose. And then I kind of straightened him back up, but it killed my momentum enough for them two to get by me. But I didn't give up. I gave it all I had that last lap. I was going to at least make it good anyways. It stuck pretty good. But Bink had a car in front of him enough to give him some draft. But I just want to give a shout out to this league. I mean, I didn't really know Hawk personally, but it's amazing to show the sim community come together like this for a guy. And that just shows you, I mean, we may be competitors on the track, but I mean, what a friendship these guys, kind of get together and do this. And I mean, just listen to all the story stuff. That's just amazing that these guys can get together and do that. I mean, that's just a great deal.
Yeah, indeed. These guys are, I have to echo that sentiment there, Robert. These guys, great bunch of guys over here for putting on these shows. And, I've raced with them a handful of times myself, and just a great bunch of guys. They'll help you out, get the shirt off your back. And if that's anything to do here, it's a fantastic league to go on here. And you had a fantastic showing here tonight, Robert. And nothing to be mad or anything about. You seem pretty happy about it. So bringing home a second place finish, One thing I do want to ask, though, Robert, is Frank was able to pull off a slide job maneuver over you a couple times there. It looked like you backed out of it. Were you able to do the same thing to Frank, or was that something that was on your docket to do later here?
Well, both times I got out there pretty good after the pit stops. I mean, one time I think I was like almost 3 seconds ahead. So I started kind of just backing my corner up and kind of keeping my tire temperatures down. And I knew they were going to catch me, so it was kind of silly for me to sit out there and blister my stuff. And each time he got to me, he had another car get down with him, and I was up there by myself. But I knew by doing that, he was only going to he was going to be the only one to get by me. And so I went ahead and I thought, I wasn't sure on the long run what it would do. So right before that last pit stop, I noticed the 43 car, each time I kind of moved out a little bit, he wanted to kind of move with me. So I went ahead and tried it then. It stuck good. I was able to make the pass without really doing a slide job. The second time Frank did it to me, I really had to roll out of the gas because I didn't expect him to come up. I really thought he was going to kind of come down because I got such a good run off the corner. But I mean, I know Frank's not going to be the one to take me out, and I expect the same. So I just backed it out. It was silly to take us both out over something like that. So I really, in honesty, I really think I could have. Actually, if we'd have made it through that corner, that contact, I was doing it then. So, it's what if and buts. But anyways, regardless, yeah, I'm happy. I mean, it was a freaking awesome race. I gave it all I had that last lap. I was going to make it. I mean, I really was surprised it stuck as good as it did, but that showed me right there I still had plenty of tire because, I mean, I was able to run Bink down pretty good ways right there going in that last corner. So, I want to give a shout out to Bink, man. I've run with him a few times. Great competitor, man. He was definitely shoving me around that track. And I also want to give a shout out to you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast as always. I have to give a shout out to my wife. She's sitting right behind me, so I can feel her eyes looking at me, and my little girl watching. And then I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Apple Collision Centers. I know they're watching, and Jess, my teammate in the office with me, I know he's cheering me on. He just texted me, so I appreciate him watching me from Memphis. And just great job to everybody. It was just an awesome race.
I kind of stole my thunder there, Robert, thanking everybody you wanted to thank there. But again, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, Robert. And I'll give you the microphone. Did you miss anybody there?
No, I figured, you know what? I figured y'all, Bink's probably down there celebrating. He's going to have everybody spray with champagne, so I was going to give y'all plenty of time to get down there and have fun with him.
Well, you got to get down there and celebrate with him too there, Robert. So I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who is caught up with our race winner, the driver of the number 8, Bink Lucas.
Yeah, I made my way down here to Victory Lane here at Michigan International Speedway. Bink, what a race, man. Congratulations on the win today. How are you feeling, man?
I appreciate it, man. Surprised. I guess surprised would be the word. Didn't expect it to end like that, but I guess that's the way things work, and, you know, it's not over till the fat lady sings, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. You had your car right up there with the best of them all night long running with them, and it looked like it was going to be a Bauckham-Divens show. And the next thing you know, you're right there in the thick of it, but Bauckham made a strong run towards the end. Did you see him down there on your lower side going for that flag?
Yeah, I did. I knew I was going to have to deal with him, even after all the, you know, the whatever it was that happened whenever they went off into one there. I knew I was going to have to deal with him before it was all said and done. You know, as everybody's seen, I don't think I had exactly the car to win, but sometimes that's not what it's always about, you know.
Yeah, I hear that, man. You know, it's always about being at the right place at the right time. And, you know, I couldn't say congratulations again. This is a big event SMO puts on over there, a big tribute race for Hawk. Everybody over here knew him as friends. And what a fantastic race to win tonight. So congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to you, sir. The mic is all yours. And, again, congratulations on the win tonight, Bing.
I appreciate it, man. You know, tickled to death that I got to win this thing. But all in all, that's not really what it's about. You know, who wins, who loses. The biggest thing is, you know, we're dedicating this race to, you know, one of our fallen racers. And I didn't get to race with Nighthawk just a couple of times when I first started sim racing, so I never got to know him as personally as I do, you know, Jamie and Viper and some of these other SMO guys. But you know, it's a good thing that we're able to do this for him, and I appreciate all the guys with SMO and everybody that showed up tonight. I appreciate you guys putting this on for us, and thanks for everybody running me clean. It was, you know, it was a great race. I wish it could have been a little more racy up front, but you know, it did turn out to be a pretty spectacular finish, and I hope everybody enjoyed it.
All right, well, there you have it. Bink Lucas, your race winner tonight. Congratulations again, Bink. We're going to go ahead and let you get back to your friends and family there and do some more celebrating. We'll throw it back up to the guys in the booth. Guys, what a race. What an amazing finish.
Now, we've seen a couple of those here recently here on DRL Network, Todd. We've seen a great finish here a few weeks ago at Excel. We see another great one here at SMO tonight here of this Hawk tribute. And I know if Nighthawk was down here looking, as I'm sure he was at these guys tonight, I'm sure he's grinning ear to ear because these guys certainly put on one whale of a show. And I believe he only got slowed there by one caution. So kudos to those guys tonight, you know, putting some excellent driving on out there at Michigan.
Yeah, there was only one caution here tonight, Phil, and it kept me on the edge of my seat. And these guys, green flag pit stops, those top 5 guys really earned where they were in the top 5. And not to say anything about the other guys, all the cars except for one finished that race. 19 out of 20 cars finished that race. The other one got disconnected there. Rex Adams, unfortunately, he was having a good run in that number 50 machine. But there was 19 cars that actually finished the race. So that goes to show you how good of the race was here this evening, how good this league is here at the SMO Hardcore League. And fantastic showing. Can't ask for a much better race, Phil.
No, and I can't wait to come back for the anniversary race of these guys. They're going to have here, I believe, mid-August. I don't have a date in front of me here, but pay attention to our website, drlnetwork.com. That is the home of DRTV. And the next time you'll see us back on the air, it's going to be in about 3 weeks from now on Saturday, July the 16th. We'll return to the DRTV Premier Cup Series. We'll be live from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. We'll visit the Magic Mile. We'll see what all those guys in the Premier Cup Series are up to. We've had a lot of racing. We'll update here. And then the 1 week after that, a very special presentation as part of the Premier Cup Series. The Wounded Warriors 200 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, something that our friend Todd Jack Truan, as we know him here at TDR, something he's very proud to put on, the Wounded Warriors 200, July the 23rd on a Saturday night for the Premier Cup Series at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll have all the details out of how you can get involved and how to donate to that cause as well. Pay attention to all our links on Facebook, the home site, drlnetwork.com. So until next time in about 3 weeks, for my broadcast partners, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton in the booth, Too Tall Todd Stanton, a great job as always up here alongside. My name is Phil Lacasse. We'll see you next time, and thank you for watching tonight's latest installment of DRTV, live on the DRL Network. Good night.